Y&R spoilers. A kidnapped Jack's world spins out of control, Billy's backed into a corner and Sally opens up about her past. The week of March 2nd on The Young and the Restless is poised to be one of the most chilling in recent memory, as corporate warfare officially gives way to life or death stakes. Victor Newman has finally crossed the line that even his harshest critics feared he might, transforming a boardroom battle into a hostage crisis. While Jack Abbott fights for his freedom, his brother Billy faces an impossible ultimatum, and across town, Sally Spectra bears her soul in a way that could either repair her relationship with Billy, or end it forever. Victor's ultimate power play. Jack Abbott's nightmare begins. The mustache has officially left the building, and taken Jack Abbott with him. In a move that has shattered the illusion of civilized competition, Victor Newman has kidnapped his longtime rival, and the clock is now ticking for the Abbott family. The news lands like a bombshell when Billy Abbott is forced to deliver the devastating update to Kyle Abbott and Diane Jenkins at the Abbott mansion. According to insiders, Billy arrives with a look on his face that Kyle immediately recognizes as pure dread. The confirmation is brutal. Victor has Jack, and the ransom is simple: hand Chancellor back by the end of the day, or Jack never comes home. For Kyle, the revelation that his father is a hostage is a gut punch that redefines everything. Until this moment, the war with Victor was about corporations, board seats, and power. Now, it's personal in the most terrifying way imaginable. Kyle looks at Billy, searching for reassurance that this can't be real, but Billy's expression tells him everything he needs to know. Billy Abbott knows Victor Newman. He knows what the end of the day means. And he knows this is not a bluff. The question that will haunt the week is what Billy does next. Does he hand over Chancellor Industries, the prize he fought so hard to reclaim, and trust that a man who just resorted to kidnapping will keep his word? Does he try to stall, gambling with Jack's life in the process? Or does Billy Abbott, the man who has never taken the obvious path, find a third option that nobody sees coming? As one source puts it, this is the kind of scenario that reshapes a story. Everything that was a corporate war just became something else entirely. Adding to the tension, Diane Jenkins is likely to react with the fury of a protective partner. If Diane has anything to say about it, she will be on the phone to Nikki Newman before Billy finishes his sentence, demanding that she rein in her husband. Whether Nikki even knows the depths of Victor's plan, or can stop him if she does, remains to be seen. Billy backed into a corner. Love, loss, and a lethal deadline. While Billy grapples with the kidnapping crisis, his personal life is equally volatile. The week begins with Billy making a heartfelt attempt to win back Sally Spectra, the woman he lost when he chose Chancellor over her on Valentine's Day. In a scene set at Billy's apartment, he lowers the lights, puts on soft jazz, and prepares to bare his soul. Sally arrives, wary but willing to listen. What follows is one of the most emotionally raw conversations of the year. Billy admits he had ulterior motives in past conversations, but this time, he promises, he's truly listening. Sally, in turn, opens up about a chapter of her life she has kept locked away: her father. She describes him as a dreamer, always chasing the next big thing, burning through money and friendships because his luck never held. She was the one who had to pick him up off the ground when things went wrong. The parallels between her father and Billy are not lost on her, and they terrify her. She can't go through that again. Billy listens, truly listens, and then makes his case. He didn't choose Chancellor over her. He chose it with her in mind. He reminds her of the night in France, when he signed Abbott Communications over to her and she wrote, "I love you," on his hand. Pulling out a pen, he writes the same words on her palm, telling her it will go straight to his heart, right where he wants to be. The moment is electric. Sally smiles, and they kiss. For a fleeting second, it seems like the love story might be back on track. But outside forces are already conspiring against them. Audra Charles, Sally's co-CEO and newly minted protector, has been watching Billy's moves with suspicion. She warned Sally not to show up for the dinner, correctly predicting that Billy would try to slither his way back into her life and her heart. Audra sees the pattern clearly. Billy picks a building full of spreadsheets over the woman standing right there, and now wants a second chance because she turned that rejection into an empire. Audra's intervention in Sally's life has been so forceful that she has effectively become the gatekeeper to Sally's personal world, blocking Adam and Chelsea's corporate trap and now trying to block Billy's romantic one. The question is whether Sally will thank Audra for her protection, or eventually resent her for it. As one analyst notes, the dynamic just shifted massively. Sally now owes Audra her company, her freedom from the Newman scheme, and her escape from repeating old mistakes. That's a staggering amount of leverage for one person to hold. The Newman spiral. Nick's descent and a family in denial. While Victor is off committing felonies, the rest of the Newman family is dealing with a crisis much closer to home. Nick Newman's downward spiral, fueled by painkillers and rage, is accelerating at an alarming rate. Sharon Newman and Victoria Newman are increasingly desperate with worry. Victoria has looked into Nick's eyes and seen someone else looking back. Sharon knows Nick hasn't fully recovered from his surgery and fears he's becoming dependent on the pills, a fear Victoria shares, having warned him herself. At the end of the previous week, Nick was seen staring at his dwindling supply of fentanyl, fighting the lure of addiction. In a moment that horrified viewers, he dropped a pill in the snow, only to pick it up and pop it in his mouth. Compounding the family's problems, Matt Clark is back and terrorizing Noah Newman with death threats. One chilling text told Noah to sleep with one eye open. Nick, already unstable, is vowing to take matters into his own hands. He told Sharon he's going to put his ass in the ground, a promise that terrifies those who love him. Detective Burrows, frustratingly, has all but encouraged the family to take vigilante action, leaving Nick feeling justified in his violent intentions. By the week of March 2, Noah is desperately trying to reach his dad, but Nick is not answering calls or texts. Sharon is also in the dark, and the panic is setting in. A man who was not okay before he walked into a plan to trap Matt Clark is now unreachable. As one spoiler warns, something very bad is about to happen to someone, and it may not be Matt. Kane's desperation and Phyllis's dilemma. Kane Ashby is also playing with fire. Having trapped Phyllis Summers in what can only be described as a kidnapping of her own, holding her against her will with a guard blocking the door, Kane is trying to force her hand. He needs Phyllis to help him get Lily and the kids back from Victor, even though Phyllis is convinced, and likely correct, that Victor is lying and that Lily is not in danger. Kane dangles a mysterious offer, telling Phyllis he has something she wants so badly she won't be able to refuse. What that offer is remains the week's biggest mystery. Meanwhile, Phyllis is enjoying her perch atop Newman Enterprises, though her support system is shaky. Lauren Fenmore has publicly sided with her, which surprises Billy but delights Phyllis. Lauren's reasoning is simple. She doesn't owe Victor anything. But with Kane turning from ally to captor and Nick vowing to burn her life to the ground, Phyllis's victory lap may be cut short. Looking ahead, a city on the brink. As the week unfolds, Genoa City is a tinderbox. Victor has kidnapped Jack. Billy is torn between saving his brother and saving his company. Sally is torn between the love of her life and the trauma of her past. Nick is lost in a haze of pain and vengeance. And somewhere out there, Matt Clark is circling the Newmans like a shark. The only certainty: by the time Friday's credits roll, someone's world will have changed forever. Whether it's Jack Abbott's, Nick Newman's, or Billy Abbott's remains to be seen, but the clock is ticking, and in Genoa City, time is never on anyone's side.